It's time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally, and Attilio Leonardi will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or We'll Buy It. If you have any questions, you can reach us at 799-9596 or check us out on the web at teamlally.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Tilio. I'm going to turn his volume up a little bit. And so this is that part of the show where we do our life coaching moment, but we'll get the disclaimers out of the way. If you hear anything on the show that sounds like legal advice, we're not giving any. And if you hear anything on the show that sounds like tax advice, not giving any of that too. We may anecdotally make jokes about accountants and attorneys, but no legal or tax advice.
But if you do need some good legal advice, we do recommend Myron Kamihara of Kamihara Law.
What's his number and website?
You could reach him at 352-6417 or check him out online at kamiharalaw.com.
And by the way, if you hear of any vendors or people that are on the show, just go to our website, teamlally.com. So here's our life coaching moment for you regular listeners, because you know that's what we start off the show with. I want to talk about being you know what, we're going to talk about what we learned from
Amber.
From Amber. There's 3 things that make up. By the way, so I'll start off with the main part. What is the only thing that separates us from either athletes or healthy people, and we're going to talk more about that later on,
yes,
or successful people or wealthy people? There's only one thing that separates them from the rest of the group.
I would say that it's their habits.
That is correct. It's their habits. And I think our listeners will all agree. Everybody has habits. You know, some habits are automatic, you know, like getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth and all of that stuff. And then some habits we have to use more of the prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brain, and really think through it, like problem solving. And here's the deal. Those habits make the difference, right? Is sitting on the couch every day after work and watching TV for 4 hours, is that a habit?
Yes, that is a habit.
Is getting up early in the morning and going to an Orange Theory workout every morning and working out every day and making it a part of your life, is that a habit?
That is another habit.
Okay, but here's the deal.
Completely different habits, though.
The body type of those two people with the 2 different habits is going to be different.
Yes.
Which one is going to be the fluffy one?
The couch potato.
The couch potato. And they call it couch potato because that's usually what you have. You assume
like
the shape of a potato. Sitting on a couch. If I had to do a diorama of couch potatoes, I would have little potatoes on little couches. That would be my couch potato diorama.
Okay, back to the habits. So what was your point with this whole tirade?
So basically, it's not a tirade. That's like a temper tantrum. That's what little kids do. It's sharing information, Adrienne.
Okay, with your whole life coaching moment.
So
what was the point?
3 aspects surround our habits and reinforce them and make them good ones. And one of them is systems.
Yes.
If you repeat anything over and over, and we're going to talk about more of this, for example, and it's going to be relate to the guests we're having in the studio. If you have a recipe, a recipe is a system for making something. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
And if you just do whatever and don't even follow the recipe, the amounts, the cooking times, the preparation, what are you going to have as an end product?
You won't have the same thing.
That's what people do in their lives. There is a recipe for success, but they just do whatever. The other thing is skills.
Yes.
Are we born like super whatever, athletes, salespeople, chefs?
No.
We have to learn those skills.
It's learned and practiced.
And then there's motivation, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway.
Those 3 things make up the habits.
Anyway, I just shared a couple minutes of a 1-hour presentation. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about these things at the top of the hour. But you guys, speaking of sharing wisdom,
I have, yes. So every day we get these quotes from Duke Kim Han of Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
No way.
Yes. So it's great. I love getting these quotes from him.
Yep.
All right. So this was the one for today. The first one is from Peter Pan. The moment.
And who is Peter Pan? He's one of the lost children?
One of the lost
boys. Okay.
The moment where you doubt whether you can fly, you cease forever being able to do it.
Yeah.
The next one's from Kimberly Jones. Don't let people pull you into their storm. Pull them into your peace.
Pull them into your peace, yes.
No drama.
Save the drama for... Don't even save... You know what? Save the drama for your mama. That's not very nice.
It's a drama-free zone.
You shouldn't give no drama to your mama.
It's peace.
Yeah.
Peace and tranquility. Okay? The last one is from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. What you get by achieving your goals is not...
You have to say it with an Austrian accent.
You know what? You can say it with
No, go ahead.
Okay. Are you sure?
No, what is it?
Why don't you do it?
No, you say it and I'll repeat it.
In your Austrian accent?
Yes, I will.
Okay. I can't wait for this one. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals.
What you get by what you get by achieving your goals is a BMW.
That's not what it said.
But that was in an Austrian accent. I only know how to say the word BMW with an Austrian accent.
Okay.
If you achieve these goals, they will pump you up.
All right. So
is there another quote, or was that the last one?
That was it. That was 3. That's all you get for today. No more.
Cut me off.
You're
Get
cut
the whole...
off with the goals.
All right.
Next
up is Janice from Dreamhouse Drafting. Hi, Janice. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
All right. What you got for us today? Good morning.
Oh, I don't know. There's just a swirl of things going on, but I think I'll sum it up in saying plan ahead. I'm noticing that a lot of people are thinking that if they have a design done and an application in, that they can start construction. The process is you get your building permit and then you start construction. The building inspector can come to visit at the instigation of neighbors, happening to see things. So the building department has been very busy in recent years.
Yes.
Literally thousands of applications coming in some months. So it's a process to get plans through there. And it would be good if people functioned accordingly when planning their lives and scheduling their construction.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned this because one of the life maxims I've been sharing with my children, my team members, random strangers at bus stops is that 99% of life is how you respond to it, and 1% is all the things that happen or that occur. So, you know, you can plan, but I think maybe you're telling them too is semper gumby. What does that mean, Adrian? Semper gumby.
Being flexible.
Always be flexible.
Yeah, always be flexible, just like Gumby.
And just, you know, and if a little snafu happens, can they call you and say, Janice, help us with this? Because you'll be helping them from the beginning. Mm-hmm. But you don't dump and run, right? You help them through the whole process?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I try my best. I find, sometimes I get surprised. Like, I found out this week the construction started on a project. I'm like, what are you talking about? I told you it takes a while to get through the building permit process.
Mm-hmm.
So far, nobody's ratted them out.
Yeah.
So
but they were just so excited. They were just so excited. They couldn't wait to get started.
Well, yeah, and they just bought the place. So they
who wouldn't want to get started?
Certain way for their little children, but, carrying a mortgage and renting somewhere else is a bit much. Mm-hmm. So I ended up suggesting to the contractor, who should have never gone along with this, but he's kind of new on the general license, that perhaps he will have to finish one bathroom to completion, and since they share a common plumbing wall, don't do the other one, so that something is open for the inspectors to visualize.
Yes.
I would never tell anybody to get started, but since they got started,
you have the solution.
Taking pictures, and he's going to be. There will be a house with only one bathroom functional.
That's okay.
Well, that was
better than no bathrooms,
I know,
right?
that was quick on your feet though to give that solution because
you were totally semper gumby.
Yes.
Yes. It's amazing. Brain-wise, you can do that the older you get, but body-wise, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Janice.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So if any of our listeners want to get a hold of Janice for their permitting or designing needs, you can give her a call at 206-7107.
Does she have a website?
You can check her out online at dreamhousedrafting.com.
Yeah, so if you don't use her, it's going to be nightmarehouse.com.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want that. Nightmares are not good.
You don't want to be Freddy Krueger. Working with any kind with your construction. So give her a call.
All right, so we've got our body language tip of the week here coming up from RB Kelly.
They're my favorite.
The body language boss.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, Attilio. I'm so glad to be here. And this week, my tip is about how you can tell if someone likes something you've said. Whether that's they think it's interesting, they want you to think they're interesting, or they like you. Any one of those situations, what someone will do is they'll do what's called an eyebrow flush. And that's where they'll raise their eyebrows really quick for a second or less, and it's just a quick flash of your eyebrows. Now, if you are in Japan or from Japan, you probably never ever use this tip. But for everywhere else in the world, we use our eyebrows to exaggerate, to draw attention to our faces, or to show interest. So if you're talking to someone and maybe you're mentioning your products or maybe you're mentioning some of the features of your house and you see for one of those features they raise their eyebrows, even just for half a second, that is a good indication that they are surprised or pleased by what they hear. So you should go into detail and explain more about that one feature.
Now, it's different than like when I was in 4th grade and I had a crush on my teacher and I kept eyebrow flashing her constantly. Though.
You'd wag your eyebrows at her.
Hey.
Yeah, you don't want eyebrows like a caterpillar. You don't want them going up and down, just once up and once down. Pretty quick, pretty easy. And that's the tip of the week, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right, you can get more tips on the body language. You just got to go find RB Kelly over at the Body Language Boss. She's on Facebook and Instagram. All sorts of useful tips.
I think if you text her or email her, she'll give you like some kind of free.
It's like a video series that she sends out.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to subscribe to that. Lots of great information there.
Here's why it's important, folks. Communication. And I know if you heard this before. Adrian, see if you remember. What percentage of communication is body language?
I believe it's like 80%.
You're close. 50%.
Oh, 50%. Okay.
What percentage of communication is tone?
10%.
Close, 30%. But you know what? And I'm not saying my numbers are accurate because what is it? She's trying to remember.
You're just making these numbers. Where did you get these numbers from?
I'm not making these numbers up. Psychologists have done studies, but here's the deal: only 7 to 10% is the words you're using. Mm-hmm. So now go. So 50, 30, whatever, 10, 20.
Yeah.
What was the biggest one?
The body language.
Body language. And here's why it's important to understand body language. Body language is completely subconscious. No matter what somebody is telling you and they're looking you in the eye and they're controlling the words that are coming out of their mouth, the body language will tell you if they're lying.
It'll tell you the real story.
Will tell you the real story more so than the words coming out of their mouth. So wouldn't it be good to be an expert in body language?
It would be great.
Yes. All right. Speaking of body language, we want to talk to you about a career in real estate.
Now, everyone's perception of real estate is what we see on TV.
Well, that's not real. We've learned what it takes to be successful in real estate.
And we want to share this with you. So please RSVP at jointeamlally.com.
You're going to learn how to get started, aspects of the industry, and how to succeed.
So we hope to see you at our next career night, which is actually March 12th.
When?
From 5 to 6.
What day of the week is that?
March 12th. It's Monday.
Is that a Monday?
It's a Monday.
Okay. And it's at our office in Kapolei. If you want to know anything about the industry, the different fields,
anything having to do with real estate, come visit with us.
Yep. If you want to be really good in the Jeopardy category of real estate, we'll give you all those answers.
Perfect.
What is a successful realtor? Answer, Team Lally.
All right, we're about to take a quick break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Delicious Healthcare. They're going to be talking to us about the benefits of whole foods, plant-based lifestyle. This is life-changing information, so you guys better stay with us.
Also, we'll come find you.
Yes.
Hey, Honolulu, it's Gary LaVox of Rascal Flats. I'm moving on. When I'm Moving On won the award for ACM Song of the Year, it struck a chord with folks who understand the challenges that come with life's big changes. For many, that happens when it comes time to sell their home. If you're moving on, you want a real estate agent who will make selling your home easy and stress-free. An agent who's willing to let you out of the contract if you're not happy with their service. That's why in Honolulu, I can tell you that Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally market your home on a whole different level. In fact, Adrian and Attilio are so confident in their ability to sell your home quickly and for more money that they will guarantee to sell it or they will buy it. So, if you're moving on, trust Adrian and Attilio to provide your family a stress-free home sale experience. Find Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi online at HawaiianCountryAgent.com or call them at 808-799-9596 and start packing.
Team Lally at Keller Williams Honolulu, RD21303.
Tired of waiting 2-3 months to finalize your home loan or refinance? Jody Tonga and her team at Pacific Rim Mortgage have a turn time of 30 days or less by processing your loans locally.
Take advantage of today's low interest rates by calling our good friend Jody Tonga of Pacific Rim Mortgage. Her personal cell is 488-5510. That's 488-5510.
Hey, Adrian, guess what?
What, Attilio?
Jody has a huge secret.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
I can tell you.
Yes, you can.
Okay, here it is. Jody has a free home buying guide that reveals insider tips others may not want you to know.
Wow, how do I get this free home buying guide?
Easy. Just go to her website, pacificrim.com. That's PAC or PACRIMMTG.com.
I see the free home buyer guide has valuable information that can help me avoid mistakes and could cost me tens of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of my loan.
Yes. So check out their site. That's pacificrim.com or give her a call at 488-5510. That's 488-5510. What's the website?
It's PAC, P-A-C, RIM, R-I-M, Mortgage, MTG.com. Hawaii, NMLS ID 1032554.
If you're looking for an outstanding insurance agent that will personally help you during the moment of truth, we recommend Bradley Maruyama with Allstate Insurance.
So, Attilio, what do you mean by the moment of truth?
Well, the best insurance is the insurance you never have to use. But we know that's not how life works. So when life happens, you can count on Bradley and his team to exceed your expectations for your insurance needs.
Keep in mind that when buying a home, the cost of home insurance should be taken into consideration. I trust Bradley with my own personal home, so you should give him a call. Call Bradley with Allstate Insurance at 591-8016.
Hawaii's homeless keiki need your help. The directors of Project Hawaii are asking for your kukua to stop the cycle of homelessness. By doing so, children will less likely abuse drugs or alcohol, be a victim of domestic violence, and avoid incarceration. Some of these children have never lived in a real home. If this grabs your heart, then take action now and let's help. Go to projecthawaii.org and click on the donation button. Educational summer programs start soon. That's projecthawaii.org for all the information.
The Team Lally Real Estate Show continues.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596, or you can check us out on the web at teamlally.com.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Go
Our
for it.
guest today is a private chef, plant-based nutritionist, and food consultant who owns and operates Delicious Healthcare.
Delicious Healthcare is a program designed to educate, feed, and help you to transition to a plant-based diet in order to improve your quality of life.
Here today to tell us more about the Delicious Healthcare and the benefits of whole foods, plant-based lifestyle, please welcome we have multiple guests, but she's going to introduce our other secret guest, is Erin Betancourt.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So, okay, you have some. It's not like TV where they can see the other people, so we gotta describe. We gotta use words to create visuals for radio. Who is our other guest? Or who'd you bring with you of your team?
I brought my husband. My husband, Free. He's here with us. He's the head chef.
Well, he's not for free, right?
No.
Okay.
Aloha.
And then, I see somebody over there holding the...
My daughter, Samantha.
All right. Oh, this is a good
family.
Family business.
Yes.
Family business. Nice. All right. So we talked about it before we brought you on. A little bit, our listeners like local style businesses. We like to get to know the people before we talk business. So are you from here? Are you from somewhere else?
We're not originally from Hawaii.
Okay. How'd you guys end up here?
We've been here about 15 years.
Oh, you're local already?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And we retired 15 years ago and decided we wanted to live in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
This was home.
Had you ever been here before?
No.
You're like, we're out of here.
We're done.
You had the thumbtack on the map. And you're like, we're going there.
That's it.
And then what about you? Well, how did you guys meet?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I used to own a multimedia company.
Okay.
And she worked for me.
Oh, wow.
She was my assistant.
Oh, wow.
Did all the work, and I took all the credit.
You're like, I better marry her before I get a sexual harassment like that.
That you got it.
So going from the multimedia company to this delicious healthcare, like how did you go from, like, they're very different industries. Mm-hmm. How did you make that transition?
Yeah.
Health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So
unplanned situations that you come across, and you have to make a choice whether you accept what is considered the normal, the way people accept arthritis or illnesses or diseases. Oh, I'm getting old, so this is just how it goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're like me and says, I'm going to go look elsewhere and get more information because I'm not happy with what the information I'm receiving, which is, hey, you're ill now or you're sick, whether it be blood pressure or diabetes, and usually what you're accustomed to hearing is, here are your medications, this is your new regimen, these are your new...
this is your new life.
This is it. Right.
Take some pills.
You're not going to get a new shoulder. We're not going to...
Yeah.
This is what you do now. And I just channeled all of my energy into educating myself in nutrition and the cause of most of the
illnesses
that we encounter. And I was just shocked at how the more I dug, the more I was shocked at how little information is out there available for the general public. Mm-hmm. So we just go with what we're programmed, the same way that we've been conditioned to.
Habits. Yeah.
Milk does the body good. If you go back 50, 60 years ago, doctors recommend this brand of cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's all evolution.
Yeah, lucky strike.
Evolution. Exactly.
And what I want to go back to what you said earlier, because it's part of the quote that I was reading about the habits, and it says, successful people find a way, not an excuse. Mm-hmm. And we can either accept where we're going and our programming, or we can go out and seek new information and get educated. So it sounds like that's what you all have done.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let's talk about, tell us the name of your business again.
Delicious Healthcare.
Delicious Healthcare. Unpack that name for us. How did you come up with that, and what does it mean?
Well, healthcare is associated with medicine.
Yes.
And food is medicine. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah.
It heavily dictates how we feel or how we continue to grow, whether you're, as you said earlier, feeding a disease or feeding your health.
Healthy, yeah.
The couch potato, as you used earlier, as an example, is a perfect example.
Yeah.
A lot of people are conditioned to believe or accept that there is some type of genetic blueprint that you can't do anything about, and that's not. I could have two children 10 years apart, have my first one while I was a couch potato, have my second one while I entered a bodybuilding tournament where I finished first, and I'm considered one of the top, physical fit human specimen. Both of these children have the same father.
Yes.
Same genetics.
It's not like, you just runs in the family. Diet, habits run in the family.
Well, I know they I'm one of those weird kids that watched a lot of documentaries on Saturday instead of cartoons, and I still do. And my family groans, another documentary. And so I watched them all, and so one of the things and this is not anecdotal information, I'm always hesitant about hearing it or giving it, but actually doing research and looking at the science and the from the medical field, and that huge. They equate a lot of the illnesses that we have in America to what they call SAD, which is the standard American diet.
Very good.
Absolutely.
And so let's talk more about that.
And actually,
let's bring on Halana.
Yeah, so we have one of your guys' clients and a success story.
Sneaky.
Yes. So we have Halana Brooks on the line, and she just wants to share, a quick testimony to the great work that you guys have been doing in our community.
Yeah.
And for her daughter.
Hi, Halana, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, yeah, we got Free and Aaron in the studio from Delicious Healthcare, and we want to ask you a couple questions. What was our listeners don't know the backstory like all we do, so help us out. What was the main motivation for you to want to get a hold of this family-owned business?
Absolutely. My daughter was diagnosed with lupus when she was 9. Mm-hmm. She's 14 now. So I got in touch with Delicious Healthcare, Free and Aaron, when she was 13. She was 13. She weighed less than 60 pounds. She was mentally, emotionally, spiritually checked out. She was done.
Yeah.
She was at a point where I was just looking for any way to get my daughter back and heal her from her lupus. And when I met Free, the education that he provided was everything that I needed. Because doctors, I never understood why she had lupus. And it wasn't until I became educated with Delicious Healthcare and understanding, like you said, the science behind healing her body did I really recognize that I was responsible as a parent for what I was putting in my child's body.
Yes. And I think one of the things that people don't realize, and I'm totally ripping this off from all these documentaries about diet, is that our healthcare system today is not, I like the way that the documentary phrased it, it's called sick care. Mm-hmm. It's not really healthcare because nobody's going in there and saying, hey, I'm feeling awesome today, let's go make an appointment. But what we do on a daily basis, that's our preventative health care. And I think what most people realize is that most doctors don't have a lot of education as far as diet.
No.
Very little as far as in medical school. It's all, and then especially when they drill down to their specialty, they're going to have none or zero, and they're going to rely upon dietitians or third parties, and they're always
or just the drugs. They just rely on the drugs, the pills, and that's it.
So talk to us more about what was the specific things that you did with Delicious Healthcare that helped your daughter?
Just eating the food.
Yeah.
Eating the food and really just soaking in the education and letting go all limitations of, how I grew up or what I thought about food with milk and meat. And, I continued, when she was diagnosed, I was told that she'd be on medications for the rest of her life and she likely wouldn't have children.
Yeah.
And I never believed that. And so all those years, I told everyone about my daughter's lupus because I was always looking for someone to say, hey, I know someone with lupus, or I had lupus and I no longer have it. And sure enough, the more people I talked to, the more people I met that had reversed their lupus and were no longer on any medications and were living lupus-free.
Yes.
And one common theme that they had was lifestyle change and converting to a plant-based. And so that was how I started seeking out someone that could help me with a plant-based lifestyle. And I think I was just scrolling Facebook one day, and I had another good friend that was using them that her son was always in the hospital with asthma, and she was posting, pictures of this beautiful and delicious food. And all of a sudden her son was no longer had any asthma issues.
Yeah.
And then I had another mutual friend that also recommended Delicious Healthcare, and it was perfect timing. And so we connected, and my daughter, to date, she is doing phenomenal.
Tell the listeners who are not familiar with lupus, what are the symptoms, or what was happening in your daughter's life?
So it's an autoimmune condition, and her lupus affects all of her major organs.
Uh-huh.
So she had kidney, heart, lungs, and in October of 2016, which is just maybe about 4 months after we had met Free and Aaron, that she ended up with a blood infection that shut down her brain. Mm-hmm. So she was in the hospital 40 days, 40 nights, had to learn how to walk, talk, eat all over again. And it was really a blessing in disguise because she had that blood infection, she had to get 3 blood transfusions, 5 treatments of IVIG, and 5 treatments of plasmapheresis, which basically flushes out all of her blood, and she gets new blood. So blood is life. So we were blessed to kind of get that reset. But she was also on a feed because she couldn't eat. And so because I was educated with Delicious Healthcare, one of the first questions I asked was, what's in that feed? And had I never gone down this path with Delicious Healthcare, I just would have trusted what the doctors had told me and went with the feed that they gave me. Well, I asked what feed they had, and I told them, what our restrictions were. And they said, well, the first one has chicken and dairy in it. I said, okay, well, we're not going to go with that. What else do you have? And they said, well, we have another one. It's a powder form. I said, okay, let me take a look at the ingredients. I turn it over, and the first 5 ingredients was 45% corn syrup, oil. Wow. 3 different kinds of oil and sugar. The rest of the ingredients, you could not read it.
For the listeners,
I didn't know what it was.
For the listeners, what's very important to understand what you're hearing is, you weren't like at 7-Eleven getting this stuff. You were in a hospital. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
so
correct.
A children's hospital.
In a children's hospital where we're relying upon our medical industry. And again, it's all programming and habits. And you've got to be able to get educated and nothing more motivated than a parent. Yes?
Yes. Yes. And asking those questions. And so I reached out to another doctor. Her name was Britt Goldner, and I found her just searching the internet for a doctor that could specialize in lupus.
Yeah.
She was diagnosed with lupus when she was 16, and she had been lupus-free, med-free for over 12 years by the time I had met her. And she now teaches her clients how to reverse their own autoimmune conditions, just like Delicious Healthcare, by converting to a plant-based.
What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Devaney.
And how's she doing today?
She's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
She is doing incredible. She's in cheer, competitive cheer, and this is a kid who, when she was 9 and was diagnosed, she could not run, she could not play, she could not do PE at school, and now here she is doing this intense, cheer routines, and it just blows my mind. She's doing phenomenal.
No, I was on the outside at one of the PSI events, and all the kids were outside, and she was just running around, playing. I think they were playing hide and go seek.
Yeah.
I was tempted. It looked fun. I think we might have to do Friday hide and go seek over at the Team Lally office.
Yeah.
I used to love playing that.
Education is key.
I was the scary uncle. I would be I would fake them out, be in the shower, and scare the heck out of them. But anyway.
All right. Well,
go ahead.
And kids, they're so resilient.
Yes.
Because they don't have as many programs as adults do. I think this is why it's so important to get our children educated about food.
Yeah.
Because, I think Delicious Healthcare now has some new clients, and the babies are young, 5 years old, but they bounce back and respond to new foods so much easier than adults do.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Helena, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story and your testimony to how Delicious Healthcare has really affected your family. So.
I really want to thank you guys for highlighting Delicious Healthcare, and I really hope that we can help educate more families and just get more children healthy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Helena.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
I think with our listeners, you got to understand, we're not, a lot of times when you think of healthcare, it's like back in the 70s with the health food stores. And my mom was like that, and it was all, eating the weird bread with the weird spreads on it and Sprouts. I think maybe that's why I don't like Sprouts today. I was eating so much. But it was like all that hippy dippy stuff, as you used to say. Nowadays, it's science.
It's a little different. Yeah.
It's getting educated, and I think there's more and more of a trend that people understand that what we put in our mouth is probably. I heard a TED Talk, and the guy was training professional athletes.
Correct.
And they only took their bodies to a certain thing with all the training in the world. He said the only way that he was able to increase their performance was with the plant-based diet.
Fuel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what they were eating.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of plant-based diet, I think you had opened up your class that I had attended was talking about stomach acid.
Correct.
Because people are always giving pushback. Oh, I have canines, and I'm meant to eat meat.
Right.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about that to our listeners.
That is really human conditioning. These are just character traits that humans all possess. We are creatures of habit. We are all heathenists to an extent. And we like to not challenge our views so much. As much as we prefer to
go
along and cherry pick or even modify your own perspective to make sure that the information that you're finding doesn't really conflict with your habits. At the end of the day, science, just like everything else, has a process of evolution. If you look at sports from 50 years ago, it looked different. Their stance, the way they held their fists, the way they threw whatever it is. It almost seems like a completely different species when you compare athletes of today and the things that they're accomplishing to the athletes of the past.
Here's a real side note. When football was first brought to the United States, it was developed for an American Indians, and they were battling Yale and Harvard at the time. Something like, I don't know, like 10 people died playing football.
Wow.
Because they had no safety equipment back then. I mean, if you had 10 NFL players die in 1 year, it would be like all over the place.
Correct.
But that's an example of how our habits and our perceptions change over time.
And we grow through observation.
Yeah.
At some point, we were watching enough birds, and then we decided we're going to figure out how to fly.
Yeah.
And then we make planes. So nutrition is the same way. And a lot of times when you do challenge someone's views and you get the pushback of, well, look at my teeth and my ancestors did this, or we've been eating fish for this many years.
Yeah.
The bottom line is humans have to either survive based on the resources readily available for them. And so that means that people living in this particular part of the earth are not going to have access to the same resources of people at this particular part of the earth. And you're eating from another point of view, which is I need to survive. I need to feed myself. I need to do whatever. You fast forward, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years, education, medicine, science. Water boils at the same temperature everywhere. It's not, it's not like, oh, well, you have a different body temperature than this type of human. Or no, it's not. We all have the same stomach acid. All carnivores have a particular diet. You know what no one ever asks? No one really asks, hey, what are humans supposed to eat?
Yes.
Like, what's their diet?
Yeah.
You ask that about any pets that you buy. You ask that about any animal that you come across. So, well, what do you feed this thing?
Yes.
What does it eat? What is it supposed to eat? Well, who do you ask that question? Obviously, it had to be someone that studied that species.
An expert,
And that didn't come from, as you say, anecdotal. It's scientific.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we just observed that all the stomach acid in all of the herbivores is the same. And all the stomach acids in the omnivores is the same. And the stomach acid in all the carnivores are the same. The same. Well, guess what? Our stomach acid is the same as an herbivore. Not even close to an omnivore. Not even close to a carnivore. I don't care how much your teeth are filed or how much glass you eat. You're not going to be a glassosaurus. You can eat Twinkies. You're not going to be a Twinkiesaurus. You are an herbivore, a committed herbivore. So when you feed an herbivore the diet of an herbivore, it thrives. When you feed a carnivore the diet of a herbivore, it will not thrive.
Yeah.
You're not going to give your parakeet steak. It's not what they eat.
Yeah.
We are pleasure-driven individuals, and we have a wide variety of food choices. And we just really eat with our emotions. That's not logic-driven. It's emotionally driven.
Yeah.
So when you educate yourself, and for some of us, we come to this point in our lives where we go, oh, wow, I am no longer the guy that used to hop up in bed. I now have all this crazy arthritis or diabetes. You know that there's 50% more diabetic kids than there were just 50 years ago? Like, that didn't even exist.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting...
It's insane.
We're finally coming to a generation where the average length of how long people live is actually going backwards.
Yes. And kids running around with diabetes and arthritis and problems that were often associated with old age. It's not. It's the diet.
It's diet.
I haven't ran into too many people that have said, oh, I had a friend that's a diabetic. He's been a diabetic for 10 years. He's no longer a diabetic. You don't really hear that.
Yeah.
You just hear, this is my new regimen. These are my new habits. I poke myself. I take this pill. I do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, you can change that 100%. It's not even magic.
Now, you guys have had some success with
100%.
some of your recent clients that you've been able to reverse
Absolutely.
diabetes. Maybe
Absolutely.
You could share a little bit about that.
Halona was a perfect example. When Dev used to come to our house, she would take about 3 to 4 minutes to get from the front door to the couch.
Wow.
And she wouldn't want anybody to help her. So we would just have to sit there and watch that. Oh, it was painful. Painful. We've had clients that have been diabetics for 15, 17 years. That after they've been on the program for a month, within 2 weeks, they've gone back to their doctor's office to raise hell.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that I didn't have to do this? Why didn't you tell me that I could have control? Why don't you know this? Well, it's not their fault. I'm not here to say that doctors are evil. Actually, I have a few doctors on the program.
They just weren't educated. They weren't educated at medical school. It's not part of their training.
It is. It is. I mean, everything you speak, the sounds that are coming out of my mouth make sense to you because you were programmed to understand them.
Yes.
El momento que cambio el idioma, no entiendes nada de lo que estoy diciendo. I falo portugués, entende? So it depends on the noise that's coming out of your mouth. It comes with programming. All of it is programming. So we program, we teach, we educate. If you don't know the cause, if you don't know the root, how are you going to fix something?
Yeah,
That's insane.
You're in the multimedia industry, and it's those are all messages, all marketing, all that out there. And I don't think people realize how influential, how deeply the meat industry, the dairy industry, the egg industry influence, and how tied at the hip they are, even with the
and
FDA
the pharmaceutical.
And the pharmaceutical.
That's the big one.
So here's the kicker.
Yeah.
If you are getting information about bacon, and then you do research on where this information comes from, and it's coming from the bacon manufacturer, come on.
Yeah.
You know, the pharmaceutical companies are the ones providing all the medical books for the doctors.
Yeah.
They receive less than 8 hours of nutritional training in an 8-year medical school. You got to go through 400 or 500 hours just to be a hairdresser.
Because there's no money in vegetables,
well,
right?
obviously, that's my point. When was the last time you saw a tomato commercial or a broccoli commercial? You're right.
Yeah.
So it really is education, and that's why the food for us is just a bonus. The reason why we started feeding our patients is because we didn't want to send you home with all this information and then have you go, well, what do I
now?
eat? Salads?
How do I do this?
I'm going to eat rabbit food, No.
I'm going to eat lawn clippings.
No. Humans are the bulk of human nature, the bulk of humans that have been roaming around the planet, they're all starch-based animals.
Yeah.
They eat starches and potatoes. When I say potatoes, that makes you feel good. Stews, those are comfort foods.
Yes.
Potatoes, stews, pastas. This isn't salads and, light soda. No, these are all really good comfort foods that actually give you energy and make you feel great.
I know you guys have an uphill battle, especially here in Hawaii, because of all the plate lunch. I call it the death lunch, but and all the lunch wagons and stuff like that. But I've noticed that, I'm one of those vegetarians or maybe like pescatarian, but it's like I try not to be that pain in the butt one. It's like comes in, I just eat around, and I don't even broadcast it or talk about it or meat shame people or any of that stuff. But even when you go to these things where they have all the lunch wagons, you can go find the Thai food guy or the and especially at I always with these promoters when we do like the Makahiki challenge is like they're bringing in more if these are people that are coming here to do a fitness competition, they don't want to have no big L&L plate lunch.
More
I shouldn't
healthy.
have said L&L, but anyway. When I said plate lunch,
and then you get the meat sweats.
Sorry, Mr. Fernandez, but anyway, it's the reality, and it's not like this radio show is going to upturn the whole meat industry here in Oahu because it's been a long
one show at a time.
Yeah, if we convert one person, then we did good.
So, but with your program, you educate, but then also
and then I'll bring the food.
You bring the food.
And
so tell us more about that.
Yeah.
So first of all, we feed anyone under 10 for free because the support system is so paramount to the success of anything. If you live in a house full of smokers and only one person quit smoking, good luck with that.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, really, good luck with that. So really, we spend most of the time educating them to have them understand why they are where they're at. And there's a real, the real reason behind that is that I want you to be able to share that health with someone else. Because you're not selling anything. I'm not selling you a book. I'm not selling you a pill. I'm not selling you some kind of drink. I'm just telling you information. Information. I'm educating you. You now have the knowledge and the responsibility to share that with a family member, especially when it's so easy.
Yes.
So it's at the end of your fork that heavily dictates how you feel for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years. Nobody needs to be dying from heart disease. That's a paper-toothed tiger. I mean, really. It should not. No one should be dying from that.
Shouldn't get to that point.
Even if you had 100% blockage, you can completely reverse that.
Yes.
No one knows this. And you're not going to hear that at the hospital, not because there's malicious intent, but because no one has that information in there. You find McDonald's inside of hospitals. We've got clients that have come to us on kidney dialysis, 9-hour daily dialysis, that are being given the very foods that cause that condition where they're at.
While they're on dialysis.
Yeah.
They're eating their
It's
McDonald's
insane.
and having their dialysis.
You know, when you buy baby food, you don't see meat or dairy or anything for the first year of the life of that baby. You don't. All you see is fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
The body's not going to handle that. It's not supposed to.
Yeah, a lot of the people don't realize, too, and for the conservatives out there, if you think about it, look at the healthcare costs here in the United States. That could be easily cured with diet changes.
Yes.
And that would benefit everybody, whether you're into the diet or not.
That's right.
And so I think people really need to kind of do the research.
Get educated.
It is really that. It is education. And not everyone is open to the education. But when you do find yourself in the doctor's office and then they're looking at you going, well, I know where my next 8 Porsche payments are coming from because I got to cut you open.
Yeah.
Then you go, oh, hold up. Let me go educate myself.
Well, and then it's about their knowledge, too, and the fact that, when have you gone into a doctor and they prescribe, I want you to eat 2 bowls of broccoli every day and call me tomorrow. No, it's Lipitor, or whatever, all those weird kind of names.
Give this a try, and if it doesn't work, come back, I'll give you something else.
And where, if you think about it, where do you see a commercial for a product? They talk about the benefits of the product, and then there's this big, long side effect thing.
It's insane.
And they still sell the stuff.
This pill cures headaches, but it gives you 19 side effects.
Yeah.
It's not logic-driven. Yeah. It really isn't.
So you have on your website, you have education. Is there a way for our listeners to sign up for your program? How does this work?
You could go to www. I can't believe I just said www. I just showed my age. DeliciousHealthcare.com.
Yes.
On the site, it's pretty simple. It's only a 3-page site. It has all the pertinent information associated with the subject that we're talking about. And on the last page, there'll be a contact form where they can leave a phone number, and we will contact them immediately and see how we can accommodate their needs.
No, if you show your age, you'd be like, go to healthcare.com, because I'm in the older set, too. And then I have my pager number right on the front page.
And the fax.
We're gonna send you out a 12-inch LP album with all our information on it.
That's great.
So, all right.
Now, one thing that you had mentioned at your training that I had attended that really kind of sat with me was the research that was done with the cocaine versus the sugar.
Oh.
Maybe before we let you guys go, can you share that with our listeners?
Absolutely. Again, it goes back to education, and perspective is everything. If you have your favorite restaurant and you've been going there for years, and then you make friends with the chef and he becomes good friends with you and tells you, don't eat here anymore because,
Yeah.
that perspective, that knowledge, or that bit of information changes everything.
Yes.
It really does. What most people don't realize is that sugar is far more addictive than cocaine, heroin, meth, and all of these things combined. They light up the brain exactly the same way they do. They have a higher addictive quality than any of these drugs, yet we don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And we're flooding children with not just 1 or 2 items, but every single thing that they come in contact with that goes in their mouth is sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar, 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 from Pop-Tarts to the syrup to the lunch food. So they're just being bombarded with all this sugar, and they have no idea that this is destroying their immune system. It's destroying their gut flora. It's destroying their health. And you don't see it that way. Well, you go to the dentist and you'll get a lollipop on your way out of the dentist.
Yeah.
Where is the sense in that?
He's creating the repeat customer.
It is. And when you realize that, you realize, okay, well, maybe this treat isn't all that good for my kid. Sure. Maybe he did really good. What's moderation? Mm-hmm. Moderation kills. What is a moderate amount of cocaine that's really good for a kid? What is it? Well, maybe if I just let him take a little bit of meth on the weekends, that should be. No, there's certain things that moderation doesn't apply to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. So, but it's a fact that most people don't have a clue. Doesn't mean that they don't love their children, but of course they do.
They just don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're so driven by the information. We're so driven to try to educate you. And then if you get, flustered with a lot of information, then we have the food to bring to you so you can get used to all these new foods and you start asking questions.
New habits.
Absolutely.
Yes. New habits.
When you move to a new country, you have to learn new habits
and
new cuisines and new foods and new
language.
things. Absolutely.
You guys teaching people the language of food.
Yes.
And health.
Yes. Food is medicine.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. That time just flew by. If any of our listeners want to get a hold of you guys,
check them out.
Check them out. Check them out on Facebook or the website.
DeliciousHealthcare.com.
All right. So I think we've got Brooks. Oh, no, we have Ray. We've got Ray on the line.
Hey, Ray, what you got for us?
Good morning. I got some coming soon listings at no time short, so I'll be brief.
Sure.
I got a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit in the awesome building in Ala Moana known as the Ko'olani. Great amenities, incredible building located, going live during the 3rd week of March. Got a super well-maintained single-family home on the much-desired street of Lilipono in Kaneohe.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tastefully remodeled throughout with new roof on top to make this priority home to see. It will be going live the last week of March. We have Eva Beach, 2 homes coming on the market, coming soon, Eva Beach, Ocean Point, a couple 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. There's also a listing that is live in North Shore that will be coming live on MLS today, and we'll be having a first open house in a couple weeks, which is, we've already had the phone ringing all day today about that property. So if people want to see this or other coming soon listings, go to teamlolly.com and they can see them there, right?
That's right.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Have a great one.
All right. Now we've got Abby on the line. Are you there, Abby?
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so Team Lolly have a total of 6 open houses today. So
Holy
we're going to
cow.
go all over the island. Yes. So
You know what? How about this? Real
Yes.
quick, we don't have time to go into the descriptions of each, but tell us the 6 different locations, like cities.
Okay, so Eva Beach, we have 3, and 1 is a grand open house in Eva Gentry, Tuscany.
Uh-huh.
That's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Come down. That's the only one listing in that neighborhood.
Okay.
And then we got 2 more in Eva Beach, 1 in Kapolei, and 1 in Aiea. And
Holy
it's all
cow.
going to be from 2 to 5. So, time yourself right, and you can see all 6 houses.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Abby.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah, our producer here in the studio.
Chee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life.
Forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
Sold program.
If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price and our time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha.